Hey, what's up, Facebook? Aaron Buyerlee here, and I just love the fact that Zoom decided not to work through to Facebook tonight when I'm doing the subject of be professional. So isn't that a cracker? Perfect. And my first point that I've got here is, be on time. So we're going to talk, hey Lewis, how are you, mate? We're going to talk about being professional in the new age business category. So, just because it's a home-based business doesn't mean you want to be any less professional. And, this week in particular, too many examples of that, both, in traditional business and also in the new age business. And so, Zoom didn't decide to work through to Facebook today, so we're doing it direct to Facebook with my phone. Good backup plans. We're always ready with a backup plan, and that's part of what we'll talk about tonight. But there was a few things this week, like I had a pool tiler come out this week, and I said, look, so many guys have come out, looked at my pool, never got back to me, never quoted me, never heard from them again. He said, oh, geez, I hate when that happens. I love the difficult jobs. So unprofessional. Anyway, a week went past and I hadn't heard from this guy. And it took me 9 days, I think it was, before he got back to me and said, oh yeah, actually, I can't do the job. So it's just so unprofessional with so many business, particularly labour up here on the sunny coast. I see it time and time again. But in the new age business, my buddy Lewis will know what I'm talking about with this one. So we had an incident this week where, I had a member in network marketing, one of the guys in my team, and he got on a call with some other networkers to, build the relationship and have a chat. He's new to network marketing, and this other network marketer who I know, who's supposed to be professional, it's one of the reasons people don't join network marketing or stay in network marketing in particular with those sort of experiences. Hey, Sarah Michelle. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Chris. Say g'day when you jump on. As I always say, if you're watching this live, or you're watching it on a replay, say hello. Otherwise, it's kind of like just walking up to the front of my house and staring through the window. It's kind of weird. You don't knock, you don't ring the doorbell, but you just stare through the window. So it's the same here on social media. Say g'day. If you're live, let me know where you're watching it from. Don't stare through my window and be creepy. If you're watching it on a replay, let me know. If you get something out of this, share it. Tag your teammates if you feel like it can really help them out. But so this week we had an incident, and my mate jumped on this Zoom and he said, look, I just want to be upfront. I'm really happy with the company that I'm in. I'm not here to look at joining your company. I'm just doing my friend a favor. Thought I'd jump on, see what your company's all about, build some relationships. And this so-called professional network marketer went nuts. Stop wasting my time. What do you even get on here for? This is a complete waste of my time. Geez, this is so rookie. I've got better things to be doing. Really snapped, really went off. And my mate said, oh, I'm in this particular business with Aaron Buyerlee. And she said, oh, he just jumps from company to company and he'll be in another company in 5 minutes. He's done this one, done that one. That's one thing you never want to do, because it's always going to get back to that other person, right? It's always going to get back to the other person. So she's gone off the rails. She's bagging other network marketers. She had about 3, uplines with her, and he was sort of saying, oh, I think it's a bit overkill that you've got all these people here to talk to me. Don't you tell me how to run my business. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm a professional 7-figure network marketer. And it pretty much ended about there, that conversation. But then she thought she'd turned off the Zoom, but she left it running and continued to bag the person that came on to the call. And so, look, I've had those. That's not professional, right? And that's going to put people off the whole industry. And I tell you what, even her team that, thanks, Lewis, even her team that were on that call would be starting to think, geez, if this is the way it's done, if this is the way the leadership is, I don't want to hang around here either. So you start to burn bridges and burn relationships with that prospect, with other leaders and with your team. It's just not the way it's done. I've had people jump on calls with me before and say, hey, look, I'm not interested. I'm happy in my own company, just kind of curious. I love that, because they are interested. there's something not going right with their company if they're getting on those calls. And so I'll say, look, no problems. We're both busy. Really appreciate you jumping on. Here's what I love about my company in case you were curious. Let's keep the relationship going. Let's stay attached on social media, and who knows what can happen in the future. We'll stay in touch, and hopefully we can do business one day. You seem like a great person. So you're not hanging around doing an hour presentation because they're not interested and you're busy and they're busy, but you certainly don't go off the rails, right? You stay professional, and who knows what will happen down the future. I was on a phone call with Tim Sales back in 2014. 2014, I think it was 2014. I'd just gone diamond in my company at the time, so I was making good money, had great lifestyle, but the opportunity to meet Tim Sales, was attractive. And I was the guy on the call saying, hey, look, I'm pretty happy in my current company, just wanted to get on and say hello. And he didn't go off the rails and go nuts. He just said, hey, look, here's what I love about my company. You seem like a great guy. Let's stay connected. We joined up on Facebook, and he's now my sponsor. So what's that? 6 years ago, right? 7 years ago. And we kept the relationship. We stayed on social media. He's now my sponsor in that company. So you just never want to burn bridges, particularly with leaders. So I've got 20 points here that I'm going to go through to keep reminding you guys to stay professional, whether you're in network marketing, whether you've got a gym's lawn mowing round, whether you're doing membership websites, affiliate marketing, Airbnb, whatever it may be, you still want to be professional. It doesn't matter whether you work from home in your pajamas, you still can be professional and take it to a full-time income and a 6-figure income and even a 7-figure income working from home in your pajamas, but you still got to do it professional. So that's what kind of inspired, and there was a few other unprofessional moments. We won't go through them all. But in particular, I wanted to mention those ones. So, number one, do what you say you're going to do. And I had slides and everything for you guys through Zoom, but we'll just wing it. We've got a backup plan. So do what you say you're going to do. So I say, hey, I'm going to do a Facebook Live every single Wednesday at 8 p.m. Brisbane time. And ever since I've put that up on my Facebook, I've done it. And I've been out on dates with Nicole at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night. You've probably seen that Facebook Live that I did. It was actually one that got the most traction, actually. There's all sorts of situations that happen during the week with travel and locations and Wi-Fi and Zoom not working. But hey, you just do what you say you're going to do, and you be consistent with that. And so look, if you've made a terrible call and you've got to change your mind, sure, you can change your mind. But so many people, even in social environments, like I've got people that I catch up with that I can guarantee you that if they say they want to catch up at Wednesday at 2 p.m, I can guarantee you they're going to change their mind last minute, Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Actually, I can't do it. I won't be able to. I can guarantee you the same people will change their mind. And they're in business. Do what you say you're going to do. Even if you're going, oh man, I don't feel like it now, or geez, that was a bad call, or just do what you say you're going to do. It'll hold you in good stead over the long term. Number two, be on time. So I was 4 minutes late to this Facebook Live tonight because we had technology issues. But be on time and be prepared. So I think one of the worst things you can do to business meetings is be late. And I used to be terribly late to every single meeting. In my 20s, I just didn't respect time as a big fact. I was so casual about it. I'm okay, it's 20 minutes to get here to there. My appointment's at 20 to 2, I'll leave. My appointment's at 2, I'll leave at 20 to 2. But you got to allow for traffic. You got to allow for breakdowns. 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock, Sarah Michelle. It's 8 o'clock Queensland time. It's on my Facebook. It's written up there. But I did have people last week lining up at 7 o'clock. So you just got to be on time, guys. And like when I was in Sydney, I learned that the hard way. People were a lot more strict with it, and you got to allow for the traffic. You got to allow for breakdowns. You got to allow for things to go wrong and get lost. The GPS doesn't work. Be on time is an obvious one. Be organized and prepared. So this is a big one that I see new age networkers do. Oh, I was 7 minutes late. Okay, I get what you mean. I was 7 minutes late. Yeah, sorry about that. 7 minutes late. Very unprofessional. Very, very unprofessional. Not prepared. No backup plan. Hey, I'm still here doing what I said I'm going to do. I can't help what Zoom does. That's a professional, right? Still going ahead and going through. And I even started 30 minutes early and Zoom still wouldn't work for me. So this is the big one I see new age networkers and new age entrepreneurs not doing well. So it's the very, very first time they've jumped on a Zoom, or it's the first time they're doing Zoom to Facebook, or it's the first time they're using a new lighting system or a green screen or whatever it is. And they jump on there 2 minutes before the Facebook Live and they're like, oh, what's this button doing? I haven't got my slideshow ready, and oh, that light's a bit bright, and oh, my green screen's a bit to the left. You got to be prepared, right? You got to be organized. Get your wall calendar going, get your phone going, get your diary going, and get there early. Practice with technology. So anything technology-wise for me, I'm not great with technology. If it's the first time I'm using something, I'll practice it. So I'll get Nicole to jump on the Facebook page, or we'll jump on a Zoom, or it's a new webinar system, I'll jump on there and make sure I've practiced before I'm going live to 100 people, or until I've got that important business meeting with a leader. I'm not going to trust technology that it's going to work like that. A little bit like tonight, right? I've done that many Zooms to Facebook. It works really, really well, except when I'm doing the presentation of being a professional, right? But you've got to be prepared, you've got to be organized. And again, in my 20s, I would book a meeting and I would forget probably half of them. Thinking that I'm going to remember at 2 p.m. the Friday next week, I'm going to go to a lunch meeting. And so it's such a habit for me now, I don't even think about it. If someone's booked in a phone call with me, a cafe meeting, whatever it may be, a sales call, it'll go straight into my phone with an alarm set 30 minutes before and 5 minutes before. It'll go in my wall calendar, it'll go into my Google calendar. And it's pretty hard to forget it that way. And that's just a system that works for me. Other people, a diary, pen and paper, or a CRM system. But you got to be organized and you got to be prepared. And particularly if it's your new technologies, go and practice it beforehand. Even a simple PowerPoint presentation up on stage, if you've got a new clicker, get there and make sure you know how to use it. You know where the laser is, you've got a spare set of batteries. And if things don't work out well, I reckon one of the worst things you can do is commentate it. One of the worst things you can do is commentate it. Oh, okay, this doesn't seem to be working right now. Let me press this button and see what happens. Oh, no, that's just, let me go over here. Where do I do the slideshow? Okay, the volume's not quite up. Let's get this working. Don't commentate it. So if things aren't working, just silence, serious face. You've got this, right? And they don't know. Maybe you're just doing, you're pausing for some dramatic effect. I keep kicking this light here. You're pausing for dramatic effect, right? Or you're just getting yourself ready. You're in control. You're the leader. You're the presenter. You're doing the presentation. So just relax, control the pace. You'll work out the technology eventually. You don't need to commentate it and look even more amateur than what's actually happening. Just like I did when I kicked the light right there, right? So be organized and be prepared. Build relationships. So again, that network marketer has just lost relationships like that. And so she was someone that I would have joined with in network marketing, if the opportunity was right, if it made sense, if I thought it was great. She's a good leader. Not now, right? So you can burn relationships and respect and credibility very, very quickly, right? So you want to continue to build relationships like what me and Tim Sales did 7 years later, you're in the same team. I've enrolled people that I've been talking to about network marketing, or particularly my business, that took 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, just because the relationship stayed strong, and even 10 years later, did new business together. And if something doesn't work out, or if someone's in another company, you never want to bag that leader. Like, even if you think they're a terrible leader, you say, oh, yep, no, you're in good hands with that person. Or don't bag other companies. Oh, you don't want to join that company. The compensation plan's no good. You don't want to join that company. They'll be bankrupt next year. You don't want to stay with that leader because they don't even coach or mentor you. You don't want to join that leader. They live in the middle of nowhere. They'll never catch up with you. It's always going to get back to the person. And so always be building relationships. And the best thing you can do is, when no one's watching, continue to build those relationships, right? That's really strong. Be a product of your product is another one. To being professional. Hey Owen, how you doing, brother? How's that gym rolling? Hey Sean, how are you, mate? Hey Luke, how you doing, mate? I'm not going to touch this too much. It's a little bit wobbly. You know, you want to make sure you're a product of the product. So if you're doing your weight loss, and you don't have to have the rippling six-pack. If you're a network marketer pitching business, you don't have to be driving around in a Ferrari. You know, if you've got a gym's lawn mowing, you don't have to have the perfect lawns. You know, we often see that the plumbers have got the worst pipes, the gym's mowing have got the worst lawns. But I tell you what, it helps, doesn't it? If you really, really want to be a professional, get some traction, get some credibility, and you've got a gym's lawn mowing, to have the front of your house as a display, if you're a landscaper, have it a display in your garden. I mean, you don't have to do any sales. If somebody's driving past and sees your lawns, they're just like, man, I've got... So I run every day or every second day past this house, and every day I think, man, those lawns are immaculate. Compared to the house next door and the house next door, this person obviously takes a lot more care. And I often see a trailer pulled up and a guy, and I said to myself, whoever's doing that lawn, I want them to come and do mine. You know, it's a great example. If you are losing weight or you are slim and looking healthy and you're in the health profession, PT, whatever it is, it's really going to help from a professional standpoint. And again, driving that Ferrari, I don't know, obviously it shows you're successful, but I really think that can shoot you in the foot as well. The old Ferrari driving, you can guarantee you'll get audited if you're buying a Ferrari as well. So be a product of the product though. You know, you really want to make sure that you know what it smells like, tastes like, what your results have been. So the amount of people that have reached out to me in the last 2 weeks to say, okay, I want to get on this DNA weight loss challenge with you, it's just been, I can barely keep up with the inbox messages. And in the beginning, it was crickets. You know, it was quiet. But then when they saw me go 104, 103, 100, 96, 95, then they go, right, I want that, right, I want that, right, I want that, because they saw me getting results. All the other before and after pictures are impressive and they have great credibility and social proof, but at the end of the day, my network want to see that it works for me. Oh, we want to see that it works in Australia. We want to see that it works for a bloke. We want to see that it works for you, Aaron. And so whether it's skincare or weight loss or income or share market or real estate or Airbnb, whatever it may be a product of the product. And track that. You know, Gary Vee was talking about something really interesting. I did a Facebook Live on this thing last week or the week before about your content. And yeah, you can do motivational, you can do a great value add, you can do funny content, whatever it may be. But the best content you can do is journal. Okay, so it's like a documentary. It's as you're going, it's real, it's you, it's every day, the good, the bad, the ugly. And same if you're starting a new business and you've got products, you know, journalize that. So if you start a gym's mowing and your lawn looks terrible, go, right, I'm going to document over the next 90 days taking this brown, crappy, weedy lawn to a lush, beautiful lawn. If you documented that on social media, you would have too many clients you wouldn't know what to do with. That's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm documenting with a video diary my weight loss journey from 104 kilos down to 84, 20 kilo loss. And I don't need to do any other, no one gives a crap about the science and why it's working. They just know that it's working, right? And that's really all that matters. So document what you're doing there, be a product of the product. Lead by example. So if you're leading by example, you're doing all these things that you're teaching, coaching, if you're losing the weight rather than just selling the weight loss product, if you're actually got your own lawns going well, if you're, you know, your ability to lead is increasing, your skills increasing, and you're doing more and more leadership, the best way that you can lead is leading by example. And if you're going to be professional, then make sure you set the scene for your staff, for your team, for your followers, for your family, whatever it may be. Lead by example. No one really does what you say, but people will do what you do. Okay, people won't do what you say, they'll do what you do. So lead by example, be professional, be consistent. So that's another one that, I mean, I've crapped on about consistency. I've done whole Facebook Lives for an hour about the one word of consistency. Because again, to be a full professional, like to join a network marketing company or host an Airbnb property or get a gym's mowing, anybody can do that and everybody does do that, right? Hey, thanks for the love, guys, too. I appreciate the thumbs up and the love hearts. I am seeing them. I am taking mental notes of who's doing them. Hey, Dr. Satish, good to see you all the way from India. How are you, mate? Long time. So I appreciate the love. Again, if you just come on, yell out, say hi. Don't just peer through the window. If you're watching this on a replay, let me know. But consistency, it's so easy to do. It's so easy not to do as well. And so you go and mow the lawns and you make 50 grand a year. Anybody can do that. You become a network marketer and you call people once a week. Anybody can do that. You go and host an Airbnb property and you keep it at one property. Anybody can do that. If you want to be a real professional, be consistent. So be consistent with your brand, be consistent with your message, be consistent with your weight loss, be consistent with your workouts, be consistent with your letterbox drops, with your marketing, all the things that you're doing on social media. Because what people are waiting for you to fail. People are waiting for you to change to another company. People are waiting for you to put the weight back on. People are waiting for you just to be mediocre, which is so easy to do because everybody's doing it. Stand out from the crowd. Be consistent with your brand, your message, your beliefs. That's where people will reach out to you and say, hey, I've been watching what you're doing. I've never liked one of your posts. I've never commented once. But 6 months ago, I saw what you were doing with your weight loss and I've been watching it ever since. And I need some of that stuff right now. I want to join your business. I've got 50 other people that want to join as well. And that will never, ever happen unless you're being consistent. So consistency is a part of being professional. I don't know what number I'm up to, but there's 20 of them. I'm up to. Listen. Hey, in the comments, guys, let me know if you know a person that does this, right? So socially, professionally, you're having a conversation with them, whether it be on the phone, whether it be at a cafe, and they cut you off mid-sentence. All the time. All the time. Who hates that? Who hates that? And look, I've been guilty of it in the past as well, and I still catch myself doing it every now and again. But I'm conscious of it because I hate it when it happens to me, and so I'm sure people hate it when I do it to them. And just listening to people, and if you are face to face, listening with the eye contact, being sincere about it, and really caring about what they're telling you, you won't understand the subconscious body language that they'll really appreciate. But the verbal cutting off, whether it's in person or on the phone, I get people ringing me and they want mentorship. So they ring me up and they go, hey, you need to teach me how to do this and tell me how to do that. And I'm halfway through telling them, like, yeah, I know how to do that. And oh yeah, and they'll cut you off. And I think, and I tell you, when you're doing a sales call, if they're cutting you off halfway through every sentence, they're never going to buy. They're never going to join because they're too busy telling you about how great they are and how they've already done that and how they do it better and one-upping you. I call them the one-uppers. Yep, I know that, but I do it this way. And they're never going to join because you can tell they're not sincere. The people that are sincere and the people that are going to buy are the people that are asking questions and asking good questions, and they're being humble and they're listening. And you do the reverse as a coach, as a mentor, as a father, as a husband and a wife. If you can just listen, and it's a real art and it's real simple to do, is even, do you guys agree with this? Even when someone's on the phone going, yep, oh yeah, oh yeah, I know what you're saying, yep, that's even annoying. Just shut up and listen. So silence can just be so powerful and people will really appreciate it. And again, professionals that I look up to and mentors that I've got, sometimes I have to say to them, you still there? And they're like, absolutely, I'm still here. And you're making some great points. In fact, I want to go back to what you said 2 minutes ago. I think it's a really good point that you said. How special does that make you feel? How special will that make your person feel? So whether you're in customer service, any sort of business, just listen. People won't say, hey, I really appreciate the fact on this phone call that you just listened. It's so rare. It's so refreshing. I mean, every now and again you might get someone to say that, but people won't say that. But subconsciously and even consciously, people will so appreciate it. They'll instantly respect you. They'll instantly want to do business with you. They'll instantly feel like you care about them. It's such an easy skill to do. So few people do it. And so they want to do business with you because they feel like you genuinely want to help them and care about them, whatever the business may be. So listen. And if you're not conscious that you're someone that does that, just ask some of your friends and say, hey, do I do this? Or next time someone's talking to you, Be conscious of what you're doing. And a lot of people will do it because they think of something really great to say. They're gonna forget it later. But it's something you've got to train yourself on. If it's a natural habit for you to do, you've got to stop doing it. And look, if someone's babbling on for 15 minutes and it's getting nowhere, sure, pick your point there where you can go, hey, I totally get what you're saying. I want to just touch on a few of those points before I forget. But, just listen to people and really care about what they're saying. Don't be a desperate new age entrepreneur. Don't be a desperate new age entrepreneur. I see so many people being desperate out there. Yeah, Sarah, look, I reckon it's great when you're face to face with people and you got visuals, just a nod of the head and the eye contact is enough. Because the worst thing you're doing is when they're looking at you and you're sort of looking away and you're looking at your watch and you're on your phone, just that eye contact and the nod of the head is really great. And look, every now and again on the phone, you got to chuck in a yeah. But I find some people just go over the top and they're like, yeah, man, yeah, I get it. And they're actually not listening. They're doing it every 3 seconds and half of their yeahs are over the top of the last words. So I think, you know what I'm talking about. It's the balance of getting that right. But just the silence and do this experiment. Next time you're talking to, say, 2 mentors and one of them is either cutting you off or they're like, yeah, and the other one's just silent, which one did you feel was listening better? Which one did you feel had your genuine interest at heart? Which one did you feel you felt was more professional? I'm telling you, silence can be really powerful. Just complete silence and listening. So we're talking about don't be desperate. And I think, with that network marketing example I gave you, part of the problem is desperation. They're so frustrated, they're so desperate to get somebody on that call that when they finally get someone on the Zoom call and they say, hey, look, I'm not here to join your company, they lose their shit because they're just so desperate to get someone on and then someone to join because their business is tanking, because they're desperate for the income, they're desperate for the accolades, they're just desperate in general. And look, you might be desperate, right? COVID desperate, whatever the situation may be. That's okay, things happen, but you can't show those cards and you can't act desperate. People will smell desperate like they smell BO. You'll stand out from the crowd like you wouldn't believe when you're being desperate. So don't be desperate. Understand that if you can be professional and if you can elevate your leadership and you can just gain a few skills on social media and speaking and doing videos, and then the abundant mentality will really come through. You've got to understand there's 7.6, 7.8 billion people on the planet. There's nearly 3 billion people on social media. There's plenty of people out there that want their lawns mowed, that want to join your network marketing business, that will lose weight, that will find the tribe with you. You don't need to be desperate about one person. You don't need to be desperate about the person that's leaving, the person that's terminated their contract, the person that's quitting, the person that didn't join. I'm telling you, there's many, many people out there that want what you have to offer, that'll get along great with you, that'll love your products, that'll go and build the business, that, property owners that want you to host their properties. There's dozens, there's hundreds, there's thousands, there's millions. So you've got to have the abundant mentality. And even if you're feeling like, oh, geez, I just need someone to join my business, the way you want to play that, just like Tim Sales said to me 7 years ago, hey man, love to have you on my team. You seem like a great guy. You seem sharp, but you seem happy where you are. I just want to see success in the industry. Let's stay in touch. You never know what's going to happen in the future. Now that's like the opposite of desperate, right? That's posture. And look, Tim Sales doesn't have to be desperate any day of the week, but one of the things that I teach my guys to, because they think when they start earning 10 grand a month, then they won't be desperate anymore. When they start earning 10 grand a month, they'll start dressing better. When they start earning 10 grand a month, they're going to have more confidence, more posture. When they start earning 10 grand a month, that's when they'll rock up on time. It doesn't work like that. You will not earn 10 grand a month until you rock up on time. You won't earn 10 grand a month until you have posture. You won't earn 10 grand until you have confidence. You won't earn 10 grand until you become professional. So you've got to act and walk and talk and have the visions and have the goals as if you've already achieved it, as if you're a millionaire, as if you're earning 10K a week, as if you're already a professional, as if you already hit the top of whatever you're doing. And only then And only then is there even a chance of that becoming a reality. All right, so you have to act like you're already there from day one. And, it's not about being fake or faking it till you're making it. It's about having posture and confidence. It's about having the vision. It's about already being there. It's a done deal in your head. And it might take you 3 years, but it's a done deal. And you got to act like that from day one to attract what it is that you want. Don't be desperate, right? Don't hype. I'm getting a low battery here, so don't hype. You don't need to hype. Your business is good enough. You're good enough. Your products are good enough. The industry is good enough. You don't need to hype it up and inflate and exaggerate. Now, you want to be enthusiastic. You want to be excited. You want to have a voice of, I'm pumped, but you don't want to overdo it. And that's one of the reasons I left, one of the companies I was looking at is the owners are up on stage saying, we're going to be the next $1 billion in company. We're going to be $1 billion faster than anyone. We're going to do it in 2 years. And I basically threw up in my mouth and I was done. Straight away, I was done because A, in my opinion, they're never going to be $1 billion company in the history of the world. B, to be the fastest, you'd have to do it in under 5 years in the Direct Selling Association. And that's extremely, extremely tough to do. And someone will come along and do that in the next few years for sure. But you don't need to be talking cliches, $1 billion, ground floor, millionaire. It's absolutely done, Sarah. It really, really is. It's almost like it's just old fashioned. And you can still get people in with that stuff, but they're not going to hang around very long. And I tell you what, if you're going to hype it up like that and you're going to oversell it, you got to deliver on it. And the thing is, when you're hyping it up and overselling it, you're not going to be able to deliver on it. And so I like to kind of, if anything, just play it down a bit. And it's also in your speed of your talk and in your tone of your talk. Again, go and listen to Tim's sales videos. He's very... he carefully picks his words, quite a monotone voice, but still very confident and postured. He's not over the top with the rah-rah, like, Dan Locke or someone like that. So if you want to be professional, don't hype, don't exaggerate, don't say things you can't back up, don't lie. And that brings me to honesty and integrity. You've got to be honest, you've got to be integrity. That's why I'm with the company that I'm with. That's why I'm with the upline that I'm with in my network marketing business right now. It's probably the most ethical company I've come across. But you can get away with this short term, you'll just never get away with it long term. And there's people in so many industries right now that people, as soon as they say their name, done. Because over time, and Tracy's all over this one, ethic direct selling, you will not get away with this long term in this world with social media. It's a small world. So to be professional, you'll have to sacrifice some income. You'll have to sacrifice some wins in the short term because you're going to stick with your ethics, your morals, and be honest. But it's going to pay off down the track big time. Don't talk badly of others to your colleagues. So again, this networker's like, oh, Aaron, he's no good. And eventually he said, oh yeah, he'll do well. But of course that's going to get back to me. And now I lost respect for that person because of course and the thing is, if you're talking smack about someone to someone else and they're like, yeah, they're a dickhead, yeah. They go away again, either consciously because they're aware of this or subconsciously. They're like, well, if they're saying that about that person, what do they say about me when I'm not around? So there's always that thought in the back of the head, and you start to just go downgrade it a little bit in their respect levels and the leadership levels that they hold you with. And so if you do need to vent about someone, go home and do it to your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, or your best mate that's not involved in that business, or go to your upline in network marketing and someone you can trust and's professional, but you don't do it in a group. You don't do it to your peers. You don't do it downline. You don't do it staff. You shouldn't even do it around friends, right? About other friends, because they'll say the same thing. We've got a group of 10 of us that are close and we bag each other all the time, but that's different. But you guys know what I'm saying, right? Is if you do hear someone bagging somebody else, I tend to struggle to get in on those conversations and just kind of walk away. And they might have really valid points and it might be true. But again, you got to remember, it's always going to get back to that person. Happens so many times. Dress code. So dress accordingly. And I'm not talking about wearing a suit and tie here. I think those days are done as well. In fact, I trust people less if they're wearing a tie. I'm like, man, I reckon they're going to tell me a lie here. I reckon they're going to sell me something. I trust people more without a tie, even if they're wearing a suit. So that doesn't mean you're rocking up to your very first professional meeting trying to sell a 10K product in your singlet and footy shorts and thongs either. So you got to, there's nothing wrong with doing Facebook Lives around the pool in your bathers. It depends on your service and the lifestyle that you're selling. It depends on your products that you're selling. It depends on the business model that you're in. So be smart and pick your moments of casual, pick your moments of suit and tie, pick your moments of, that dress, that suit, whatever it may be. But you are your brand. You are your brand. And so people will judge you on it. If you're up on stage, you're going to be wearing something a lot different. I'm over corporate too, Trace, absolutely. You've got to be different on stage, in my opinion. I mean, if you're Richard Branson, you can wear whatever the hell you want on stage. If you're Gary Vaynerchuk, you can wear whatever the hell. You've got the run. It doesn't matter. It's almost part of their brand. But if you're still climbing the ranks, if you want that credibility, those sales, you still got to dress to impress, where people look at you and go, yeah, I can trust that person. Yeah, they've got runs on the board. Yeah, they know what they're talking about. They're sharp. So be smart with that one. But yeah, for me, suit and tie, it's never. I haven't wore a tie in 10 years. Have your professional materials. So if a real estate agent came up to you and wanted to try and sell your house, and they gave you a business card, and they're like, oh, what about your website? Oh, I don't have a website. The credibility and trust that they're going to sell your house just goes way down, right? If someone's like, hey, here, I've got a weight loss product, here's my business card, here's a sample, you're like, oh, where's your website? Oh, I don't have a website, but come to the Yamundi markets on Saturday and you can get more samples. The new age entrepreneur, again, is taking it too casual. Just because you don't have a retail office and a nationwide franchise and you're not doing $1 million in sales yet, you've got to be professional. So you got to have your website, you got to have your brochures, your business cards. You got to have those materials, right? If you're going to be professional when you're networking, hand out a business card, have a website, be professional. Your brochure should explain exactly what you do. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. Don't argue or disrespect other companies and leaders. No point getting arguments about who's got the biggest one, the best one. It's just never going to work out for you. I think we kind of covered that one. If you're in network marketing, don't cross-recruit. It's still happening ridiculously in the industry. I don't get it. Again, you got to have the abundant mentality. If you're cross-recruiting, you're desperate. You got no ethics, you got no honor. I mean, you're just shooting yourself in your foot about 5 different ways that we've just covered here on professionalism. If you're a networker, you'll know what I mean of cross-recruiting. Just don't do it. Don't get tempted by it. Even if a leader comes along, just don't do it. Make a good first impression. You only get one chance of doing that. All right? Hygiene, dress code, firm handshake, eye contact, listening, building rapport. First impressions, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, 12 seconds. You're pretty much done. That's the first impression. And you can slowly wind it back if you made a crap, but it's very, very hard. You're better off just making a great first impression, the first couple of seconds, firm handshake, look in the eye, how you doing, sit down, can I get you a drink? Make a good first impression that you're someone that they want to do business with and they've already decided it within 8 seconds. You're going to have to really stuff it up from there. Make a good first impression. First class customer service, hype it down and then exceed it. Do things fast. That's what I love, doing things fast. So if someone puts an inquiry through your website, ring within 5 minutes. It just blows their mind. Wow, every time I do that, they're like, wow, that's amazing service. Or respond to their email straight away. They go, wow, that's incredible. Or when we sold our house in Melbourne, I put an inquiry in, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and the agent drove around. And he got the job. He sold our house because everyone else is like, yeah, I'll catch you on Monday. He drove around at like 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and I'm like, man, that's impressive. That's fast. He wants the business. He's professional. Good first impression. Dressed well. No tie. You got the job, mate. Sell our house, and he did. He did. So be fast, exceed expectations, and provide great customer service. And I think this is the last one, number 20. Don't spam. Be authentic, genuine, and personal. And I've got to wrap this up because I reckon my battery on my phone here is about to jump out just when we're talking about be professional, right? But man, on LinkedIn, the amount of spam I get, hey Aaron, thanks for the connection. I do SEO. Do you want me to build you a website? Network marketers on Facebook. copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, same message. If you want to get traction and build relationships with people, get personal. So be genuine about what they're saying. Again, listen, don't pitch them, don't ask them to marry you on the first date, don't want to go and meet their parents on the second date, build a relationship with them, but get personal. And what I mean by that is, look, I had someone message me the other day and say, hi, do you want to join my business? And I'm like, oh yeah, sure, no worries, I'd love to join your business, stranger. And then he's like, where are you from? And I'm like, dude, it's literally written on my profile. So what I mean by get personal is, if you're going to hit someone up with a message, whether you're really direct about your business or whether you're just building a relationship or whatever it is, don't go and say, hey, where are you from? What do you do? So I'll give you an example. If someone sent me a great message, they might say something like, hey Aaron, how's life up there in Noosa? Looks like you're having great fun around the pool. Hey, congratulations with your success in network marketing. I see that you joined, RX. That's a really great company. I was just wondering, with the Facebook Live that you did last week, what do you mean by this, this, and this? And hey, perhaps we could catch up at Cafe Doonan for a beer one day. And so what that says to me is, they've done some research. They've actually found out what company I'm with. They know I live in Noosa, and it's not like they've hired a private eye, which is creepy. I've got it all over my Facebook, but they've at least taken the time to get to know me and say, hey, I noticed you've had some success here. You're in this network marketing company. Hey, looks like you got 2 boys. I've got 2 boys as well. I noticed you go for the Crows. I'm a Richmond supporter. How about this weekend? Cafe Doonan's down the road. I've been there before. And so I have to respond to that, right? I can't be rude and ignore that message. Whereas someone messages me and say, hey, where are you from? What do you do? I'm like, here we go. And so that's a really good job that person's done of building a bit of rapport. I'm like, hey, yeah, Cafe Doonan's cool. Good luck this weekend with Richmond. Hey, it seems like you're doing well as well. Let's stay connected. And then he might ask another question. Hey, are you happy with your company? Are you looking around? I'm on a massive recruitment mission right now. And that might be a bit cheeky, but I'd still respect that approach. Instead of just saying, hey, have you heard of residual income? And do you keep your options open for other business opportunities? So I'm just ignoring that message, or maybe giving them some pretty firm coaching feedback on perhaps better ways to approach people with their business opportunities. So find out who they are. Become like that CSI show. That's what I tell people. Be a CSI profiler. So you know exactly who that person is. You reckon you might even know a bit about their personality type, their likes, their dislikes, where they live. You can find out their favorite TV shows on social media and then get personal and talk to them about that. They'll appreciate it. And don't do it in a weird, creepy way. Don't do fake praise and fake rapport. But the amount of copy and paste messages that we get, thanks Rookie, appreciate that. Go the Storm, man. It's Stormer in another final. Is it with the Panthers, Tracy? Is that right? I think it's the Panthers and the Storm. I think that's correct. Yeah, go the Storm. But man, I mean, it's so easy to do. And look, it takes a little bit more time. Instead of just go copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. You'll just lose respect as a leader like that. But to say, hey, Sarah Michelle, how's Doonan going there? I noticed you just moved house. Looks like a great leafy lifestyle there. What a great environment. Hey, seen you been with the same company now for a year or so. How's that working out for you? Can you give me some insights into what products you have there? Say hello to the kids for us. So it's just doing a little bit of profiling. It takes a little bit longer, but the person will really appreciate it. They'll see you as a professional. They'll see you as a leader. Even if you don't end up doing business right there and there, they've earmarked you as someone like this. They've earmarked you with respect, leadership, qualities. And so if it does come time to meet in person, they've already got instant respect for you, rather than, hi, do you keep your options open? Have you heard of residual income? Straight away, they've got you down here. So when you do catch up in person, or there is a great business opportunity that they want to join, they're not going to join with you. It's perception. And it's not hard to be personal and professional. So I could coach on that stuff all day long. I've got one more here. This must be number 20. Get some good technology behind you. So I've got like this little microphone here. It's not a big deal. It just plugs into my phone. So it's a good backup when Zoom didn't work right. But the difference in volume on this thing is ridiculous compared to just talking into my phone. I've got a room with tiles, so there's no carpet here, so it echoes and it sounds terrible. So just having a little lapel makes a huge difference to my Facebook Lives and my videos and my content. Having some lighting, just things like an Apple EarPod. The amount of extra work I get done with that, because I'm doing emails while I'm talking to someone. Yes, I'm listening to them. Yes, I'm listening. But or I'm just doing the weeding in my garden or carrying one of my kids to bed. I can still talk and take that phone call. Not having you can only get one thing done when you're holding your phone. You just got to get some good technologies to help you be productive and to look professional. The microphone here on the computer, just things to make you sound and look a little bit better. It's pretty easy to do. Get a filter for your phone, get a microphone, get a green screen, get some lighting. Just get things that are going to really help you to be productive and be professional. 10% left on the battery, we're good to go. So guys, I hope that has helped you to be professional. As I said, sort of inspired by events this week. And I sort of touched on some of these things before, and some of them aren't rocket science, some of them are really good reminders, and each single one of those I could probably do an hour training on, but just good reminders. Write them all down and just give yourself a score out of 10 on each one of them. Do you get back to people fast? Do you dress well? Have you got the technology that you should have? Have you got good lighting? Do you need some earpods? Are you talking bad about people? Are you making good first impressions? Do you even know what cross recruiting is? Are you arguing with people about who's got the best company? It's never going to work. So forth and so forth. Do you have business cards? Do you have a website? And your website should be you.com, tracyhall.com, sarahmichelle.com, aaronbuyerlee.com, lewis.com. Like, that's your website. Right? It doesn't really matter what your business is. You are your brand. So you got to have a website. And I'm not talking about the replicated website that the company's giving you, because they can take that away from you. They can change it. It's not going to convert. So you need to have a professional website that brands you, tells your story, because again, by the time they catch up with you in person, they've already made an assumption and a perception of you based on your social media. I guarantee you they've looked it up. And if you've got a website, then, whoa, this guy's even got a website. Whoa, they've got a Facebook page. Whoa, they've got 1,000 followers. They've got a business card and a brochure. This guy's not mucking around. And here's a USB stick, watch videos 1 through to 3. Whoa, this is great stuff. So your website is you.com. You are the brand. You can have your product website. You can have all sorts of marketing, landing page, squeeze pages, funnels. But your brand is you in everything that you do. You need to have a website, be professional. Any questions, guys, yell out and I'll help answer them. Still got it done. I don't know what's going on with Zoom, but as a professional, I will check up on that before my next presentation. So if there's any questions there, hang around for a bit. I think I've got very low battery, so I'll have to get going. But again, if you watch this on the replay, let me know so you're not creeping around the back veranda. And appreciate all the love hearts. I think Sarah Michelle, definite winner there on the love. So again, we got to catch up. Me and Sarah Michelle live like around the corner from each other now, and we haven't caught up in ages. So that's definitely on the cards, mate. Let's make that happen. Let's make that happen like next week or the week after, right? That's it from me. See you next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Brisbane time.